for another day. How about a little 4-0 sweep there yesterday? Not too shabby, but dining out on that stops now because we got a fresh menu of picks to dig into, and I'm ready to feast. So let's start with Game 2 of the NBA Finals. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Bucks to cover this full game spread, coming in at plus 5.5 points. So you dig into the stats for Game 1, and you're going to see a pretty big outlier. That outlier is that the Suns had 26 free throw attempts. So why is this a big deal? Well, Milwaukee is allowed just 17.6 free throw attempts per game in the playoffs. They also allowed the fewest free throw attempts per game during the regular season. They are the best team in the NBA at keeping opponents off the line. Phoenix averaging just 19.4 attempts in the playoffs here. So I do think we're going to see that 26 number come down significantly. By the way, they did have 10 more free throw attempts in Milwaukee in Game 1, so I think we'll see that even out a little bit. Also, I thought Giannis's return was pretty promising, not quite 100%. He did cool off a little bit in the second half, not quite himself, but he was very active, played 35 minutes, had 37 combined points and rebounds. I do think that we'll see him more active offensively. Only 11 total shot attempts. He's averaging a little bit over 20 here in the playoffs. And good response from the Bucks following losses here recently in the playoffs. 4-0 in their last 4 games after a loss. 3 of those wins came by 11 or more points. I don't know if they can win this outright. I do think they can keep it inside of the 5.5. Next up, for my favorite player prop for the game, we are going right back to the, Chris Paul over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This one hit easily for us here on Tuesday, and they only bumped it up by 1 point here. So 3 games versus Milwaukee this season for Chris Paul, and he's absolutely filling the stat sheet. Games of 45 points, rebounds, and assists, 42 and 38, with those last 2 coming in the regular season. 45 points, rebounds, and assists in Game 1. He absolutely cleaned up against them. Phoenix is depending on him quite a bit to do some scoring here. His scoring is way up since Game 1 versus Denver a couple rounds ago. He's averaging 27.4 points, and he has topped the 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 6 of his last 9 games. So a very reliable spot for our guy, Chris Paul. Next up, we are going to the Diamond. What about this matchup? Twins and Tigers. How many people are excited for this one? I got a bunch of people coming over to watch this game tonight. So 2 left-handed starters on the mound for this one. Both teams very strong versus left-handed pitching recently. WRC plus over the last 2 weeks versus lefties, 4th versus 10th. 4th in favor of the Tigers, by the way. And the left-handed pitcher on the mound for the Twins here, J.A. Happ, or should I say, J.A. Crap. This guy has been absolutely awful recently. Since the start of June, he has a 7.45 ERA and a 7.48 FIP in 8 night games this season. I do like to take a look at these night-day splits. He has an 8.02 ERA. And check this out. He's made 15 starts this season. 12 of those have gone over. And when I take a look at both of these bullpens, you know what I see? I see bullshit. 24th and 26th in ERA for the bullpens over the last 2 weeks. Hey, being a little mean today, but I call them like I see them. So we'll take the over 9.5 for the Tigers Twins. Next up, we're going to wrap things up with a strikeout prop. Keegan Akin, you know this guy? Probably not. And if you do know him, it's probably for all the wrong reasons. His strikeout number is sitting there at 4.5, and I'm picking the under on this one. So under 4.5 has hit in 5 of his last 7 starts, and this guy's getting absolutely obliterated. A 12.18 ERA over his last 4 starts, and going up against this Blue Jays offense, I could ask, how long do you think Keegan Akin can last in this game? The Jays lead Major League Baseball in OPS and WRC plus over the last 2 weeks and have the 3rd lowest strikeout percentage. They faced Akin back on June 26th and scored 6 runs against him, and he was in the game for 82 pitches, only 3 strikeouts for Akin. What are the Orioles doing with putting these guys on the mound? Are they tanking? You don't hear a whole lot about tanking in Major League Baseball, but I do think the Orioles would make a pretty good case for that. So there you have it. Going to try to get another sweep here for you guys today. My 4 best picks of the day. Whatever you decide to do, unless you are fading me, good luck with your picks. And as always, keep chasing that paper! Woo!